Welcome to Fitness Night for Health and Physical Education Parts 1 and 2. Tonight we will be discussing how to use the Polar OH1 heart rate monitor and how to improve your fitness. We will also go over the fitness requirements necessary to succeed in this class and take part in a sample workout. Before we work out, we first need to evaluate the different types of heart rates. A normal resting heart rate for adults ranges from 70 to 100 beats per minute. Generally, a lower heart rate at rest implies more efficient heart function and better cardiovascular fitness. For example, a well-trained athlete might have a normal resting heart rate closer to 40 beats per minute. Let's now find our resting heart rate or pulse. Place the tips of your index, second, and third fingers on the palm side of your other wrist below the base of your thumb. Or place the tips of your index and second fingers on your lower neck on either side of your windpipe. Press lightly with your fingers until you feel the blood pulsing beneath your fingers. You may need to move your fingers around slightly up or down until you feel the pulsing. Use a watch with a second hand or look at a clock with a second hand. Count the beats you feel for 10 seconds. Multiply this number by 6 to get your heart rate or pulse per minute. Now, let's involve some movement. I'd like everyone to stand up and sit down for 60 seconds. At the end of the minute, I'd like everyone to find your pulse. Is everyone ready? Go. Now, everyone find your pulse. I'm guessing it's somewhere between 90 and 110 beats per minute. Even if it didn't get that high, I'm sure it was higher than your resting heart rate. What did we do differently? Yes, we added movement. This is something we will be addressing throughout this video. Finally, let's talk about max heart rate. This is the maximum number of times your heart rate should beat per minute during exercise. This is a theoretical number that can be found using this equation. Now on this next slide, let's look at target heart rate. This is the sweet spot, so to speak, when attempting to gain fitness. To find the target heart rate, you first need to find your max heart rate, then multiply it by 0.6 to gain the lower number of the range. Then you can find the high number on the range by multiplying your max heart rate by 0.9. For example, if you're a 14-year-old person, your max heart rate is 206. You would take 206 and multiply it by 0.6 to find the low number of the range, and by 0.9 to get the high number of the range. A 14-year-old has a target heart rate of 124 to 185 beats per minute. Now that we have found our pulse, our max heart rate, and our target heart rate, let's discuss the zones we will be using to increase our fitness. The manufacturer of our heart rate monitors, Polar, has created 5 zones to train in. Let's start with Zone 1. Training in heart rate Zone 1 is done at a very low intensity. The main training principle is that performance improves when recovering after and not only during training. Accelerate the recovery process with very light intensity training. This will occur when you're at 50 to 60% of your max heart rate. Training in heart rate Zone 2 is for endurance training, an essential part of any training program. Training sessions in this zone are easy and aerobic. Long duration training in this light zone results in effective energy expenditure. Progress will require persistence. This will occur when you are at 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. Aerobic power is enhanced in heart rate zone number 3. The training intensity is higher than in zones 1 and 2, but still mainly aerobic. Training in zone 3 may, for example, consist of intervals followed by recovery. Training in this zone is especially effective for improving the efficiency of blood circulation in the heart and skeletal muscles. This will occur when you're at 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. Finally, if your goal is to compete at top potential, you will have to train in heart rate zones number 4 and number 5. In these zones, you exercise anaerobically in intervals of up to 10 minutes. The shorter the interval, the higher the intensity. Sufficient recovery between intervals is very important. The training pattern in zones 4 and 5 is designed to produce peak performance. For Zone 4, you should train at 80 to 90% of your max, and for Zone 5, 90 to 100% of your max heart rate. The Polar OH1 is the heart rate monitor you will be using to assess and track your fitness progress. It consists of 3 parts: the band, the heart rate monitor, and the charger. Taking care of your heart rate monitor is a must. We suggest that you store your charger in your home computer. Please note that the monitor is waterproof to 30 meters. When fully charged, the monitor has 12 hours of battery life and has the ability to store 200 hours of fitness. Please note that at the end of the course, we will be asking you to reset your heart rate monitor for the next VHS session. There are 2 ways that we are going to record our heart rate. The first deals with the app called Polar Beat. Everyone should have received an email asking to download this app. We would also like you to download the Polar Flow app as well. This is new for summer 2019. When creating an account, please make sure that you use your Desire to Learn email address when asked for an email and your PWCS student ID number followed by PWCS in all capitals for your password. If by chance you use a different email, please provide this email to your teacher. The Polar Beat app is a great way to log your fitness hours and see your heart rate increase in real time. Turn on the heart rate monitor by pressing the small metal button. Make sure it is snapped into the armband and snugly on your upper forearm or lower upper arm, and press Start on the Polar Beat app. From there, you will see a small blue circle with a number in it. That is your current heart rate. Swipe left to see the different data screens that will help you identify zones and how much time you spent in each zone. We will talk more about the zones and requirements in a few moments. Completing one Polar Beat workout is a requirement for this course and will allow you to use the device independently, which we will discuss next. The second way we record a workout and gain fitness hours is using the heart rate monitor as an independent training device. In this manner, one will record the workout and then upload the data to the Polar Flow web application. This also requires the user to download Polar Flow Sync to their home computer, which is a requirement for all students. Please watch the following video to learn how to use the heart rate monitor as an independent training device.
With the Polar OH1, you can record your heart rate data and transfer it to the Polar Flow app and web service after you finish training. Before you start training, wear the Polar OH1 heart rate sensor and turn it on by pressing the button until the lights switch on. When your heart rate is detected, a green light will blink rapidly, and you can start your session right away. Once the device is on, press the button twice to switch on the recording. To stop the training session, press and hold the button until the light switches off. Your OH1 syncs your training data to the Flow app automatically if you press the button until the light switches on and your phone is within Bluetooth range. Whatever you do, with Polar OH1, your heart rate monitoring is handier than ever.
New this summer is the Polar Flow app and the ability to upload independent workouts to the Flow web diary. To accomplish this, you must first complete a workout using the heart rate monitor as an independent training device. Then, after you have completed the workout, you must turn on the heart rate monitor again, open the Polar Flow app while your Bluetooth is on, and must wait for a circle in the top left to appear. The app is now taking the information from the heart rate monitor and placing it in the Polar Flow web diary. Please make sure that you edit these activities in the web version as part of your course requirements. All virtual high school health and PE students must acquire 2,880 minutes of fitness or 48 hours over the course. This breaks down to 120 minutes in zones 3, 4, or 5 for every fitness log, and 600 minutes in zones 1 and 2 for every fitness log. Your activities must be synced daily to ensure that the uploading process and the use of the independent mode is working correctly. Finally, each fitness log's hours is reset with hours and minutes not being carried over from the previous log. Now it's time to work out. Let's go ahead and place our heart rate monitors in the armband and place them on our bodies. Your instructor will now take you out in the hall and take you through a series of movements to increase your heart rate. Now that you have completed one Polar Beat workout, we will now check the Polar Flow web diary to see if it shows up. For some, the internet connection may be weak and it may not get through to the web diary. Don't worry, check back when you get home and it should be there. If it doesn't, please check to see if you use the same email address for the Polar Beat app in the Polar Flow website. Now let's check the web diary. There should be an activity on today's date. Please click on the red icon to view the workout. Here is where you will see the date, duration of activity, heart rate information, like the average, the maximum, the minimum, the calories, the zones that you are in, and what manner you used the heart rate monitor. As you can see, I use the heart rate monitor as an independent training device. I know this because it says Polar OH1. If I used it with my Polar Beat app, it would say Polar Beat in this location. Now let's head over to the word More. This is where we will edit or title our activity. As you can see, there are many activities you can choose from to title your activity. If by chance you cannot find anything that fits your activity, find something close, and then place the exact description in the comment box. The more specific you are, the better. For your requirements, you'll need to obtain 12 hours of fitness for each fitness log. Out of those 12 hours, you need at least 2 hours in zones 3, 4, or 5. To see that you have gained that fitness, please go to the Progress tab and select Custom Period. From there, you will need to select the beginning date of the fitness log and the end date. For this example, I will use March 1st and the end date March 31st. I will then refresh the screen. I will then scroll over to where it says weeks and change it to days. Here I will see all the different days that I exercised and all the information that goes with those days. I scroll even further and I will see a bar graph with all the zones located here. I need to make sure that I have 12 hours of fitness total and at least 2 hours in zones 3, 4, or 5. Please note that it is not the number shown up here when you initially select Custom Period. You need to go over and select days, scroll down, and you need to count up the total number of minutes and hours over here to make sure it totals 12 hours and at least 2 hours in zones 3, 4, and 5. While we are in the Polar Flow website, we need to talk about Polar Flow Sync. Polar Flow Sync can be found under your name, Products, and where it says Flow Sync Download. Please click Download and it should bring you to another screen. It will ask you what type of computer you have, whether it be Windows or Mac. Please select the appropriate one and download the application. When you download, please make sure that you have your heart rate monitor plugged into the charger and inserted into your USB port. It will ask you a series of personal questions. Please make sure that you follow all of the prompts for correct setup. This is a requirement for the course because Polar Flow Sync will take the information out of the heart rate monitor and push it into the Polar Flow diary. Another requirement for the course is to join the Polar Flow Club that your virtual high school health and PE teacher has created. This will help them track your fitness. Please go up to the notification box. There should be a red circle there once they've sent you an invite. Click on the notification box and scroll down. You will see, possibly all the way at the bottom, an invitation. Accept that invitation.